Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. After that exquisite fairy tale in Russian, I'm going to bring the tone right down. But hopefully you will find something of interest and of use in this technical briefing, which is on the subject of servant leadership. The reason I'm doing this is that it's part of my project which I'm doing within Toastmasters, which is the High Performance Leadership Project, which I've really only discovered over the last couple of months. It's something that I believe you can do at any time during your career through Toastmasters. I've been a Toastmaster for approaching six years now, so I've left it pretty much late. I won't say to the end, but it's taken me a while to get to. It is a really useful project and would be of great use, I think, to people who are studying leadership in organizations outside Toastmasters. But the great advantage we have is that we can actually pull together a committee of people to work together, and I have several members of the guidance committee who will help me on my way through this project, and actually I have some vacancies, so if anybody else is interested in being on the guidance committee, do let me know before we close the lists. So service leadership, the first thing I would say about this is that this is a particular kind of concept of leadership which I would say is right up to date, in that just a few years ago, I can remember as well, the whole idea of a leader was a boss, a manager, someone who would tell everybody what to do, someone who would lead from the front or be cracking the whip from behind, all those sorts of things which I would say are now not the way to do it. Particularly when your organisation is not for profit, where the responsibility authority structures are totally informal, which they are here. I mean, we elect, the president is elected for 1 year, but I'm not paid. I have no particular authority other than the authority which I can apply, I think, through this concept of service leadership, which means that the leader is the servant of the group. Now, for many of you, this may say, yeah, well, obviously, but actually, from my past, I've known lots of leaders who were definitely not that. They were the boss. They fought their way up to the top. They maybe stabbed people in the back, and there they were sitting there, and they were not going to have their authority challenged. We wouldn't get away with that in Toastmasters, being totally not for profit, and I would say in many organisations and many situations out in the real world, it's the same. You really will need to provide value as a leader. So my objective really is to, well, first of all, yes, this is going through the project. Just to remind those who already know, actually, that the learning approach that we take in Toastmasters is action learning very much. So first of all, study. So I have a manual here which has a very large section on the whole concept of service leadership and some other things as well. So it's my job as a person going through the project to study, to actually put it into action, do things, and then last but definitely not least, to get feedback from my committee. So that's a complete loop, if you like, of learning, studying, doing, and then correcting through the feedback which I get from my committee and from other people as well. The actual concept of service leadership, I think the easiest way to talk about this is in 6 major sections, all of which I would say have equal importance, and some of which I might say I'm quite good at because I've had some experience. It's maybe a natural inclination. In fact, there's a question: are leaders born or grown, developed? Born or grown? Who says leaders are born? Who says they're grown and developed? Okay, I would say it's a bit of both. You absolutely, yeah. You had it halfway up.
Show your own initiative.
The reason I would put forward the idea that leaders can actually be born is have a look at a very young child persuading his parents and actually running the house and getting his or her way. They know, we know how to do it when we're just born. We are actually born with all the tools you need to run the house, yeah? And then we lose it a bit later on. Some of us do anyway. So we do have the skills, but very, very basically, and actually it is about learning. So when someone says to me, oh, I couldn't possibly be a leader, I'll say, no, that's wrong. You can learn. We can help you to learn. That's what we're doing in Toastmasters. So communicating, giving feedback, thinking, being and looking confident is all part of it. So let's start over here. First of all, vision and values. This is an important role for the servant leader. Okay, he may not be the boss, he may not be shouting at everybody saying go that way, but people look for a certain contribution, and one would be the vision. So, what is this all about? Maybe more important even, how should we behave? What's acceptable behavior and what's unacceptable? What is our culture? Also, I would say, walking the walk, actually living the values as well, actually leading by example. So it's, do as I do and do what I say. That's not the other way around. Moving on then to direction. Once again, I think it's great to let everybody have their say, lots of input, brainstorm things, but at the end of the day, if the organisation actually needs to go in a certain direction, actually do certain things to achieve certain results, it is up to the leader to make sure that is stated and documented and presented, and make sure that people aren't wandering off course. Delegation is also something that's very important as well. The leader, I think that throughout all of this really, the leader shouldn't be doing all the leadership roles. It should be delegating, and also go one step further, training up your own successor as well, because in fact the project that I have in mind is really about handing over the task that we're talking about, and I might come back and mention a little bit what that is, but the whole idea is to train my successor so that the function goes forward without me, because I can't do it forever. In fact, I can't do it for too much longer really. Persuasion. Okay, sometimes, this may surprise you, some people don't agree with you. Some people don't agree maybe with the vision and the values. Some people don't agree with the direction we're going in. And they say, I don't want to do that, whatever. So some persuasion needs to be exercised sometimes by the servant leader. And let's have a look, looking at communicate some of the different approaches you might take. Communicating the big picture. So okay, that might seem difficult now, but that's where we're going. I always like the picture of the difference in a manager and a leader. Some of you will have heard this, but the manager, let's imagine you're in the jungle. The manager could be the guy hacking through the jungle, and the leader is the man up the tree, looking out saying, hey guys, we're in the wrong forest. So delegation and not doing all the work yourself. Being creative, managing of time as well and resources. Support. Now this is I think very, very important. Sometimes people find it difficult, no time. We're about developing people, I think. So coaching is important. And last but not least, I think appreciation. Some of you didn't understand because I said it in Russian. I expressed appreciation to our member who did very well in the speech contest. That's something we do in Toastmasters. We have various different awards and prizes, and that the servant leader should be doing that as well. So giving that praise where it is due, and actually making, because people actually are highly motivated by appreciation. Some people say that is the main motivator, more powerful than money. Some people are surprised at it. Even sales professionals like Oliver might agree with that. Okay, money is very important, but isn't it important when the whole of your office claps of some success, and you maybe get a plaque to put on the wall or whatever, and the money. So all of those dimensions. I think one of the things that this tells me in terms of a technique is that it's a complex set of skills, and it's, even though you may be a born leader, you're not going to be good at all of that. So you're going to need to study and work and practice and get feedback, look for strengths and look for weaknesses. I've been in the business of leadership for a long time. I've studied it. I did in my MBA. I actually focused on leadership, and one of the things I've learned is that I don't know everything, and I'm looking forward to working with my committee to move forward.